I've been looking all over for you.
What are you doing?
Just play along.
You, know this girl?
Sadly, yes. She is my sister. She's a little crazy.
Instead of doing a video where we talk about new things, I thought it might be a good idea if we recapped. I want to look at a data set here called errors. This is how many errors are in the data set. We're going to try to predict how long it takes for a student to analyze that data set and what kind of music is playing. I'm going to name this data set Tricky because one of the columns was named errors and I don't want that to get confused. But it gave me an error because this right here, it says a bunch of text. So I'm going to have to go back to this, tell it to skip that line. Okay, did it read in? Looks like it. Let's plot it and see if there's any more errors. With a name like errors, ooh, yeah, well, here we go. What's happening here? We have a whole bunch of bar charts. Why? Because something here has been read as categorical when it's numerical. So there's a 56 after the 295. So I'm going to turn time into numerical data, which I have to use the character command for, and we've talked about that before. Yes, NA is introduced by coercion. We still have box plots because errors is being read as categorical, so I am going to change that as well. Does it look better? Yeah, but now I can see I've got an outlier clear out there. You gotta understand, fixing all of these takes a long time, but I get to pause the video while I'm recording as I slowly take these guys out. This one I think is a negative that needed to turn positive. So I'm going to take that value, times it by -1, and put it back in. Oh, I messed something up. So apparently when I turned it into categorical data, I created some NAs, and I need to take care of that first. So my data set needs an NA.omit of the data set. Now this will run, and we have fixed things. Okay. You had to know with a data set all about having errors in the data set that was going to happen. Let's go ahead and color this by music so that I can see whether that has an effect. It looks like it does. At least the light blue seems to be behaving differently than the others. So when I make my fit, I need an lm command where I'm predicting time based off errors, and I'm going to throw in music, and because it looks like there's different slopes, I know that I need errors times music. And let's check the residual plots. I'm going to look at the overall residual plots altogether. It looks great. Nice. Okay. Awesome. Now, let's take a look at my summary. If I can fit it all on one screen. So what do I have here? I have different y-intercepts for the music. They seem significant and important. I have different slopes for the music. It looks like the control is different than whatever the baseline is. Looks like my baseline is alternative. So the alternative and the control seem to be pretty similar. There will be a video on the end of this chapter. Could we make the control be the baseline? Yes, we could. There will be a video on that. Oh, look right here. Oh my goodness, I have classical and classical. That's supposed to be the same thing. One of them is lowercase, one of them is uppercase. I need to go back to the beginning and fix that. I thought I already had it all fixed. There's two different ways I could handle this. I could say, let's go to the music and find where that music equals how about uppercase classical? Notice I had to use double equals to say I want specifically where I have this. And what do I want to turn it into? How about lowercase classical? Interestingly, not the only way I could have done this. I just used the levels command to figure out which of these were in what order. I could also rewrite that. Alternative, I'm going to be careful to respell it or else it'll be stuck with the new spelling. Classical. And here I'm going to respell this as lowercase classical. That way it'll match. I have control and rock. Both of these commands will work, but I don't want to run them both. So I'm going to turn one of them off. We'll run this guy. I want to relook at my picture. There's fewer colors now because I just took away one of the groups. And let's take a look at our summary fit. It's a little bit smaller now that we fixed the classical errors. it looks to me like we have fixed all the errors, and now in the next video we're going to be ready to make our different prediction equations and our lines so that we'll be ready for the report.